Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to a rainy edition of A Guide to Poor Parenting, a podcast where me, Jason,
and me, Jennifer,
have a few drinks
and talk shit about our kids.
Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Guide to Poor Parenting.
And Twitter /Facebook /TikTok at Poor Parent Pod.
Yes.
Should we start saying X now?
I don't know. I'm like, everybody's leaving X and going over to Blue Ball, or I don't think that's the right term.
Ball.
I don't know. It's some alternative.
I never even didn't even know.
I mean, like, we get zero engagement on all of these platforms. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, the only reason I post is just because I made the graphic and I'm just throw it out there. Yeah. I don't fucking know if it does any good or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Write in.
Yeah.
If you follow us on X.
Right.
Unfortunately, I have to keep the podcast Twitter channel and my personal one very separate. Because
very separate. We've talked about this before.
My personal one is filthy.
Yes, which is what you are. So, that shows you, but we don't need the people to see that,
Yeah, I think on accident I have posted shit for the podcast on my personal one, and I was like, I'm gonna take that off.
Yeah.
I don't ever post anything on X, but like personally, but it's still, I'm just like, nah, this doesn't need to be out there.
Yeah.
So, Miss Jennifer, how's your week been?
It has been okay. A lot of time off. Apparently, Wesley needs glasses. I did not go into the rooms with him, to where they puff your eye and then dilate it and then go. But he's done this before where he got glasses. I guess about 2 years ago. Didn't need them.
I thought it was like a year after you got them.
Maybe it is 3 years ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And he made it so that he could get glasses because he wanted them. And then he ended up breaking like 4 pairs. And I'm like, fuck this. So as soon as we were leaving, I'm like, I'm not coming to get them when they're ready.
Yeah, fuck them.
I mean, I might just so that, they don't call DHR and say, oh, she didn't get glasses that he needs. And if he really does need them, but if he breaks them, I'm not taking them back. So
yeah, seriously.
I haven't decided yet. But yeah, a lot of time off. We're really busy at work right now. I actually worked on a Saturday to try to
catch up.
Not catch up. Well, this is for the new system we're going to be going into and into August, the new computer system. So we had the implausibles because we're off Monday, but people still works in some parts of the company, and not to have the one part of my department have like an overload of work that they can't get done.
Right.
They come in on a Saturday so that way they can hopefully catch up, and not have so much work on Tuesday. And so just that
busy little
bee. Yeah, working and that sort of thing. That's about it. What about you? How's your week been?
It's been productive. Me and my coworkers have been my 2 or 3 of my coworkers have been kind of commiserating because we have another coworker who loves to delete stuff without checking if it's needed.
Yeah,
and then it breaks
a whole about him before that. He just keeps on, and it doesn't sink in.
Nope.
Stop deleting. I mean, I just don't understand how that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's frustrating. And I don't know how my boss is like, she was telling me that her bosses were like, if it's so much trouble, just fire him. And I'm like, I hate to, it's like, I don't want him fired. But at the same time, I'm like, he needs a bit more hand holding. He shouldn't have been put in. Well,
in your opinion,
I mean, he's a good he's a good software developer and I do respect him. And if you can keep him on the short and narrow path, he does fine and he's quick. and it's thorough and it's good quality code, but it's his adventures off the yellow brick road that gets us in trouble.
To do that.
Yeah.
He does not need to do that.
Yeah. So we're trying different stuff. Like we're going to start reviewing everybody's code as a group. So if there's ever any change in the code, it's like, okay, let's all sit down and talk about this, and you have to justify and explain it.
Okay, so that just sounds like more work for you, but
that's fine. If frankly,
it stops him from doing what he's doing, then
yeah, I mean, if it stops him from breaking things, I'm fine with it.
Right.
So we'll see.
I can understand that.
And I hate to admit it, but I have been a bad parental figure because when we first got Kalia, she's on Medicaid. Just like Wesley is.
Right.
And you took Wesley to UAB here in Huntsville, which is University of Alabama in Birmingham. They have a hospital, and they have a branch up here that does pediatrics that takes Medicaid. Mm-hmm. And I took her there too. But when I took her there, I didn't realize that they would not schedule the next visit. And I think the next visit was in the middle of COVID. Or like something happened and I didn't know about.
What do you mean by just like for a checkup?
Yeah, her yearly exam.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to.
Yeah, you have to schedule it yourself.
You have to schedule it. They will not tell you when it was. I knew about that because of the camp, because the camp needed the physical. Yep. So I always had to go in there and get that taken care of.
Yeah. So Kalia has not been to a doctor since she was probably about 6 or 7.
Okay.
Or she hasn't had a physical in that long.
Right.
She's been to a doctor, but she never gets sick. Like
just like Wesley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken her to the I've taken to her urgent care twice for like a fever one time, and like I don't remember the last one because we thought she might have COVID. But yeah, it's like she's never sick, and she's passed all her vaccinations. But this year she needed her HPV vaccination. So
gotcha.
I was like, let me just go ahead and do that. And I was going to transfer over to where I go, but you have to pay UAB for the records. And I'm just like, oh, just go back to UAB. You have to
for them to send them over. Okay, gotcha.
And I was like, I don't care that much. I'll just go back to UAB.
UAB's not that far from you, so it's not. A big deal.
I'm just being a whiny baby. So I booked her appointment, and they're like, "Oh, good thing you did that. If you don't do the annual visits, Medicaid will drop her."
Oh,
I was like, ooh. So
I did not know that.
I didn't either. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. She's been menstruating now for maybe a year and a half. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's time to talk to the doctor, and I don't think she's gynecologist ready. I think that'll be a few more years.
Oh yeah.
But still, I want to take her in and get a physical, and she also is going to need. I need to take her in for an eye exam too.
Well, when they do the physical, they'll do that.
Oh, will they? Okay.
I mean, you can still. I mean, they'll do like a quick one. They'll do the hearing test. They'll do the eye thing every single time.
Okay.
You can still take her to the eye doctor, and if Medicaid, my eye doctor, I take them to the one in Providence.
Okay.
They take Medicaid, and then you get, I think, 2 free glasses a year if they need it. So, just heads up. I just was there, so that's why. I remember this.
She goes to the dentist every 6 months, so at least with that.
At least you do that. Yeah.
I'm proud of that one.
Well, you kind of have to do that because she does not like to take out her own teeth.
Yes, and she doesn't like to brush unless I fucking remind her.
Right.
So, yeah, we always tell her, she always takes a shower at 8:00 at night, and then we're like, just brush your teeth right then and there. But later she's like, can I have a snack after my shower? And I've been like, okay, whatever. Just make sure you brush your teeth. And now I'm like, I feel like maybe we're forgetting. So I was like, no more snacking after 8 because you only have like an hour anyway to go to bed. So let's not snack. Let's not have any sugary drinks.
Yep.
Not that I give her any sugary drinks anyway, but
yeah. You lie.
Not after, well, I mean, not often.
She gets a lot of more sugary drinks than Wesley gets.
Oh, well, yeah, but Wesley gets nothing. So.
That's true.
So yeah.
But I'm just saying, you let her get a Diet Coke or a ginger ale.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But it's not something I regularly stock in the house.
Yeah.
And if she goes without, I don't really give a shit.
And she should be okay if she doesn't go without, because that is not a necessity.
True. Although I have been getting those Crystal Light packets just for like the you know what I'm talking about? Just for like the bottles. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, it's a hell of a lot cheaper because it's like $2.50 for a pack of 10. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, you can have this.
There you go. And then it gives her water because she needs to drink water. So
and it's not sugar, so it's aspartame. So I'm
well,
okay
that's
with that.
good.
Yeah, but yeah, bad grandpa didn't take her to the doctor, but she's never fucking sick.
Yeah,
and I didn't have a reason to go. Yeah. So
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, that's one good thing I can say about Wesley is that he has never been like so sick that I've had to take him to
even urgent care. Have you? Yeah.
He's good with that. He's had, I think when I first got him, he had like a stomach ache one time, and so
is that when you forced him to stay in bed all day?
Yes. Yeah. Because I was like, we're not going to be watching TV. I don't know what you did anywhere else. So I made it kind of hell for him. But it never happened again. So.
Yeah, I bet it didn't.
Other than that, anything?
I'm trying to think what else. Not really. You and I had lunch with my mom because my mom and I were running around doing some errands, and so she was so tickled to see you. And
I love your mom.
She's a sweetie.
She is, and I know that she's probably a little, sad because she's not like with someone all the time, and I just want to, just
make her day a little brighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can, I'll do that.
I was happy though. So as everyone on the podcast who listened for a long time, Benjamin, we did a cruise back in May. No, when did we do it?
March? April?
We did it last year.
Yep.
Anyway, we did it was June. It was June, that first week of June last year.
Sure.
And we booked it through Costco Travel, and Jennifer and I both have memberships. Well, hers through her old friend David, and then me through my mom. And when you book with Costco, you get like a $65 gift card. You never got yours because the email went to David, I think. And I've been sitting on mine for a year now. And so I was like, Mom wanted to cancel her membership, and I was a little bit worried I wouldn't get to use it.
Right.
So I went and bought like $65 worth of wine from Costco, and that brings us to what we're drinking today. So what are we? Oh, is it?
You're doing the drink. Okay. Remember?
So this was a Malbec. I picked I think I got like 7 bottles, and I got like one of every grape. But this is a Malbec called Zuccardi. Mm-hmm. I think. I don't know.
That's what I thought I said zucchini, guys. Just to let you know.
So it's from Argentina. I don't have my readers on, so I can't read the bottle. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I like it. It's drinkable. It is not like complex in any way. No. But it hits the spot.
It's a little on the bland side to me. Maybe if we aerated it, it'd be better.
Yeah, but we didn't do that. So.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's not too tannicky. Like, it's not like hitting me in the back of the throat. Mm-hmm. But there's not much to it.
Yeah.
So it's not bad.
But it's drinkable.
Yeah, it's drinkable. And since I had a gift card that was going out of stock or going to expire anyway, so might as well drink it.
That is right. Because we like to drink. And I don't know why I like Malbec so much, but that is my go-to.
Your jam
is a good Malbec.
I'm not going to buy it anytime soon because it was a little on the expensive side. But Zay and I went to kind of a fancy restaurant here in town a few weeks back, and I had something called Duck Pond, and I think it was a Pinot Noir. That was probably the best wine I've had in a long time.
Really?
And I mean, it's not super. It was like $25 for a bottle. And when I looked it up online,
That's not too bad.
no, but it's not something I would ever buy like normally. Like
Right.
$10 is about where I want to be.
Sometimes, unless we're in the mood for the Cooper and Thief, and then we'll spend $25 for that.
But yeah, I want to get the Duck Pond eventually, because I was like, oh, I love this shit.
And I'll drink it.
There you go. All right, so let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back.
Did
y'all miss
Hello,
us,
guys?
I keep wondering if any, like I every now and then will go onto the streaming services like Spotify or Amazon Music to see if anybody's inserting the ads, and I don't hear anything yet. But Benjamin, if you hear any ads in the middle of the podcast, let us know.
Yep.
Because they're supposed to be like, I mark those breakpoints as like in the audio so that they know where to insert the ads.
Right.
So I don't know if they're actually doing it.
I mean, I know that, he did, tell us that
the beginning.
In the beginning, we had an ad that I don't know if we still do, but he said we had an ad in the beginning that one time. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Because,
Yeah, well, that's where the 6 cents or the 9 pennies we got comes from.
I'm okay with that.
I haven't checked it lately. I'll have to go check to see if
Maybe we're up to like 13 cents now. Woo!
I'm always amazed that it like it does not correspond to the amount of downloads we get for the podcast, because we've had like some really good months that didn't get anything, and then one of our kind of lower download months was our first bit of money we ever got.
Yeah, so I don't know how it works. Maybe it's the length of time that we're
who knows
on or what, but
who knows?
Who knows? Who cares?
Who gives a shit?
That's right, not us.
All right,
we're just doing this for fun.
That's right, and we hope y'all are having fun too.
Yeah, that was just about you. Just took the words right out of my mouth.
That's what I do for a living.
Oh, that sounded kind of sexual.
Oh my.
Oh my.
All right, Miss Jennifer, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about homework.
Oh my God.
What we all hated to do as a child, and now our children do it.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't do homework with Wesley.
You are not alone in that. I've known many a parent, especially boys, where they were like, parents of boys who was like, I will not do homework with my son.
Well, the thing is that he hasn't been in school a lot to even have homework. And the last time he got his computer taken away because he at one point had 3 different laptops just in his possession. So the school took them away. And when he got OSS and got kicked out of school, I gave it to my mom, and Patrick, my just wonderful brother, spent like
several hours.
I think it was 4 hours with him, and I think he completed like 2 pages, if that. So it's just not
feasible.
It's not worth it, in my opinion, to even try to do homework with him. Now, he is in a new school now. He got kicked out of his middle school. Sorry, thank you. They call it a junior high school, so that's what throws me off, because it's just a middle school. But now he's in an alternative school, so I don't even know if he has homework, to be honest. They don't really communicate very well, so I don't know if he needs anything, if he, needs help. But luckily and hopefully soon, you have been a godsend on the transportation, because Boys and Girls Club does not pick him up from said school. We're trying to figure that out. Hopefully we'll know next week. The hearing people did not tell me that it takes 7 to 10 business days.
To do what?
For them to get it planned out.
Oh.
And so when they just told me, oh yeah, they'll just call you like next week and let you know, when.
When the bus will be arranged?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like when the bus will be ready to start taking him, because they just have to do the logistics of it, which made sense.
Yeah.
But they did not call me the next week. And so when I dropped him off from his eye appointment, I also didn't get any paperwork. Like I didn't get the school, like anything for the school.
Like what?
So like phone numbers. If you look up his school, it does not have a phone number.
Huh.
So I didn't even know how to call the school to, like,
Ask
anything. So luckily, when I went, she gave me a packet.
Okay.
Because all they gave me is that he has a dress code.
Right.
And that was it. And I was like, I need a little bit more than this, because this is not enough stuff. Because in case there's an emergency, who am I supposed to call? So now we're kind of getting there. It's taking some time, but hopefully next week I should know when they can start picking them up. And I, again, just want to say how lovely you are to help me out so much by picking him up from school and taking him to the Boys or Girls Club, because that helps out so much for me not to have so much time off from work.
Yep. I'm glad I can.
So you're the best.
I was going to say, he's going to this new alternative school. And in Huntsville, if you get expelled from your, I guess, I don't know, the high schoolers must go somewhere different. But no, it's all in one school?
Yeah, because when the packet says 6th to 12th grade.
Oh, okay. Well, so if you a bad kid, you go into this school, and it's a rough school. I was picking him up one day from school, and I saw this lady walking up, kind of maybe like mid-30s, larger black lady walking up, and she was on a mission, and she was trailing like 3 people behind her. Oh. And Wesley got in the car, and he was like, "Ooh, they about to fight." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And apparently the lady that was walking up, her daughter was about to get jumped by someone at school, and the lady walking up was her mama, and she was going to go deal with the kid. I was like, "Oh, damn."
Oh, gosh.
It's like, Jesus, it's a rough school.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what I like about it, when I went and enrolled him, I met, all his teachers, and they're all in one spot.
Okay, good.
So, it's a hallway, and it's just the rooms of each teacher are just across from each other.
Okay.
Now, the school didn't tell me this, but I think the nurse told me this at his old school, because she said, so they don't have a nurse, a primary nurse that stays there.
Right.
It alternates. But she told me that they line them up like at PE, and when they have to use the restroom, there's someone in the bathroom with them, and they can only go one at a time. And for anybody, I don't even know if I talked about it, but Wesley has been eating THC gummies and vaping THC and vaping and smoking, and majority of the time it's in the bathroom. So this will help stop that. So I kind of, I like that aspect of it.
That's good.
And I really like the aspect of that all the classes are right there, so he can't
sneak
be
around.
Wandering down, I guess, the high school hallway when he's supposed to be in the middle school hallway. So
that is
we'll
good.
see if if this school helps or not. I haven't gotten anything bad, so I'm good with that, It's the little things. But yeah.
Knowing Wesley, it'll just be a matter of time, though.
I mean, yeah, because, he does good for a little bit at different places and then tends to
fall off the rails.
Yes. So I'm not holding my breath, but so far so good, I guess.
I gotta say, I don't remember in high school ever needing help with homework or like having problems doing it. I always wanted to like do good for my teachers.
Yeah.
Did you like struggle with homework at all?
I don't think I actually had homework per se. I think I finished everything that I was supposed to do, except for in government. No, and that was only one semester.
Oh, okay.
That one was the only one that I think I ever really like tried hard because you know, of course, had to pass the class to get to, to graduate.
Right.
But I think I did homework in that. But anything else, I don't really think I ever really needed to do homework. I didn't really ever have any problems with school. It kind of came easy, but I never really
tried that hard.
Yeah. I also went to a ghetto school, so I don't know if I needed to try hard. I knew, well, when I found out that my mama was pregnant with Patrick, sorry, I get them confused, just like, I guess a lot of parents. When I found out that my mom was pregnant with Patrick, at that point I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to help raise him. So I knew I wasn't going to college. So I wasn't like trying for like a good GPA or, any of that stuff. Cause I was just like, I'm just here to, get my diploma. My diploma is not going to say that I was a, ABCD student. It's just going to be you graduated. So I wasn't too worried about that, I guess.
That makes sense. I don't know. Like I went to a prep school, so it was like we had homework, but I never struggled with it. I mean, it helps when you're like the child of two engineers,
right? And you're smart, and you can like automatically do like you're just good at stuff.
Well,
so
especially
that also helps.
Yeah, I will say with math, like that is probably the thing everyone struggles with in school,
except for you.
But I did my work and I always understood it. So when it got to college, I got to a point where I struggled a bit. But at that point, it was like, whatever. But I don't know. I'm just thinking about like all the Kalia has homework. A little bit every now and then. Yeah. But the biggest thing we're doing with her is Kumon because she's kind of behind in math. And I have been, working with her on the daily to get her back up to speed. Yeah. And it's hard because she gets so frustrated and she gets so like discouraged. And I don't like, I try to be as patient as I can. And I do feel like I am being patient, although I did blow up at her last night because she was... Like, we had been at it for 45 minutes and she was kind of dicking around and she's like, it doesn't matter. And I was like, you little shit. I'm spending a lot of money and like an hour each day with you to get this shit done because you're going to be doing this for the next 6 years of your fucking life. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. Right. I was like, unless you want to be like pregnant and working at McDonald's at 16. Right. Put some effort into this shit. Right. Oh, I got so fucking mad.
Well, I talked to her today and I was like, look, I know that, you've been kind of struggling with your math. And I was like, and Grandpa's really, really good at math and Auntie J is not. And like Grandpa helped Auntie J in college just so that she could pass, my class. Yeah. And I was like, if you want me to try, to kind of take a look at it with you and see if maybe the way that I do it might help you more so, you let me know. So I gave her that option today, to kind of just see if that might be something that she'll do because I really want to help, and if my way of doing math, because I don't like it, and you look at, a problem and you're like, okay, that's the answer, like without no scratch pad or, well, and, her stuff right now.
Yeah, her stuff right now.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
And me, shit, I still count on my fingers sometimes. So if I can maybe make it a quicker count on fingers, or something like that, then I just want to help.
Yeah, no, it's appreciated.
I love my baby girl.
I know, it's appreciated. I don't know, it's hard. Like, I think the hardest thing is giving her a sense of why the fuck does it matter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it matters because it matters in the long run, not necessarily in the short run. Because she'll survive if she does. And she will probably graduate high school. She never gets all that great at math. Mm-hmm. But I want her to be able to have a more options in her future.
Right.
And not that she has to be a math major, but she's going to have to do at least some high school or college algebra. Mm-hmm. And I just need her to be able to get through that.
Right.
And I just don't. It's hard to, like, how do you instill that, like, that sense of
not knowledge, but that
sense of
urgency.
Like, that sense of it fucking matters,
but it matters.
Yeah. And it's so hard.
And what's so funny is that, like, us growing up, our teachers would be like, "Oh, you're not going to have a calculator everywhere you go." And I just want to go to them and be like, "Bitch. Well, screw you, dude, because it's on my damn phone." Ha, ha, ha,
Yep.
Because I hated my algebra teacher.
I've heard the stories.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if I've shared those stories, but the algebra teacher, I'll share them again real quick, would just do the book and then not just copy out of the book and then not help and just be like, okay, now do problems 1 through 30. And we're like, well, what the fuck did you just do? So that is why I didn't like algebra.
Yeah.
And then I did computer science because I like computers. And I was the only girl in the class, which I always found hilarious because I did both computer science and advanced computer science. And because it was the last year that they were going to offer it, and because I did computer science, it counted as a math credit towards my senior year. So senior year, Jennifer did not have to take fucking math, and I loved it.
I bet.
Like, senior year was like my all bird courses. It's from
bird courses?
Yeah, it's from Sister Act.
Oh, okay.
When they're like, oh yeah, we don't really care about this class, but it's a bird course, and you just show up and fly right through it. And that is because I was a teacher's aide, and everything else was pretty easy except for that government. That was it. But senior year was great for me. I really enjoyed senior year.
I enjoyed my senior year because it was, I was actually taking calculus in my senior year.
Yeah, see, that right there is where we differ. You were happy to take calculus.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, and I was like a middling student in that class. That's not true. I was probably like, if I put it some more fucking effort, I would have been a better student. Mm-hmm. But it was like, I don't know. I'm still kind of this way, that it's like more effort does not always mean more results. So I can be kind of lazy when it comes to schoolwork. I'm like, I'm happy to just put out the not the minimum, but like the best I can, right. Or not put in a ton of effort. Like, I'm like, okay, this is good enough.
Yeah, you're not worried about your GPA. Like, that thing, like, where you're trying to be
a 4.0,
the valedictorian, and doing like a 4.5 or some bullshit like that. So then you just do what you do and
I also like
get through it. Is pretty much the.
Well, I mean, I went to like my, I was probably like top 2/3 of the class. Yeah. But it was a 50 student class. But I also went to school with like some really smart people too. So like the people in my calc class, there was actually one girl who had tested out of our calc class and was already taking college classes in senior year. So I was like, I probably could have done more, but I was just like, I mean, I'm going to go to college because I had the grades.
Right.
I was like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
I'm like, it doesn't, I don't know. I'm very much like, it's good enough for now.
Yeah.
And I like, sometimes but I will say my good enough is usually better than a lot of people's, like, they work their asses off for it.
And which is, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
just because you're smart.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Like I won out on the genetic lottery being related to, an electrical engineer and a software engineer and a math major.
Yeah.
So like I was predestined to be good at it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
I remember when I will say though, the few times I have tutored Wesley have been excruciating.
Yep.
Because he just does not get it.
Yep.
And
he doesn't care to try to get it. And that's the thing.
Yeah. Well,
because what Patrick would say is that when he got to the point that he was so frustrated and he and just like done just sitting there, he would do it.
Yeah.
He would do the work.
Yeah.
But taking 18 hours to get him to that point, we don't want to do.
Yep.
But I think the Boys and Girls Club work with them on homework. So, yeah. But with as many zeros as he's gotten because of OSS and all this stuff, I mean, it might sound mean that I don't do homework with him, but he's just not been in school enough to even do it.
You two have such an antagonistic relationship. I don't imagine that would ever work anyway.
Yeah.
And like Gwen, she tried tutoring the boys, but they were so combative too. They would work with me when they got in high school, and I was always able to help them. Although I remember talking to Gwen about it, and she's like, "Oh, they always said you just wrote their papers." I'm like, "No, I didn't.
I typed it.
I typed it.
I did not. I like the finger picking."
Yeah. The two things I did for them, I was like, "Just tell me what you want to say." And I'll type it because I'm just like, I got sick of, because they're hunt and peck kind of typers, and I can type type by feel, and it just got, after 2 hours of fucking tutoring them, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And Matthew, like, I don't think he realized how easy it was to like do a paragraph. I was like, what's your idea? What's your main concept? Okay, give me 2 examples. And then I was like, there's a 4-sentence paragraph right there.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's easy shit. And I'm like, if you just break it down to like more, the smaller components, it gets a whole lot fucking easier.
And if they would understand that, if they would actually like
do their homework and gave a shit.
Or like listen in class,
They did graduate though.
Well, they did, yes. Yeah. And then I also find it very interesting how I have the patience for Kalia, but I don't have the patience for Wesley.
Yeah. I remember when we first started doing the at-home shit for COVID with the kids. That was hell.
Oh, that was hell.
But I remember I used to get so frustrated with Kalia, especially with math, because I would be like, she would say the right thing, and then I'm like, okay, now try this. And she's like, I don't get it. And I was like, it's the same idea. What's the problem? And she would, I don't know. I could tell she would, half the time she understood what I was talking about, but I would like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why don't you get, like, oh, I remember what it was. We were trying to do addition, and I was like, okay, start at 8 and start counting upwards. And she'd be like, 7. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, is that upwards?
Count up, not
girl.
down. Yeah,
I have had to learn patience though, because it's like she needs help with the math at the moment. But it is so fucking painful after a while.
Yeah.
And then what I find the most frustrating too is like, I'll take her to Kumon because she desperately needs it. She needs help with the math, and I'm happy to get her there. She'll come out of Kumon and have failed a test and just bawling.
Right.
Or the tutor won't let her use her fingers to count. Face just drenched in tears.
Yeah.
And then we get home and it's like, nah, I don't want to do it. Or like, oh, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, you little fucker. I was like, you just bawled your goddamn eyes out. So like, your tears don't matter then, you little shit.
Well, she's a sensitive person.
Oh,
and she doesn't like to not disappoint people, and that has a lot to do with why,
I know. It's frustrating
she does what
as fuck,
she does. It is. I know, but we'll get her there. And, just that you care enough to do it.
Yeah.
That a lot of people don't care.
Well, a lot of people don't have the resources to care either. Like, I mean, if she was... I mean, Kumon's it's not cheap, but it's not super expensive, but it's still like an investment.
Right.
And I luckily have the resources to do it, but Kiki certainly couldn't do this for, if Jalen and Ayana are struggling math, fuck, if Kiki's going to be able to do much for them.
Yep. Yeah. I paid for that tutor for like a year when I first got Wesley to try to catch him up on math and reading and writing and ABCs to just try to help.
Yeah, he was like fucking illiterate, basically.
Right. Well, yeah, because he barely knew his ABCs. He couldn't read. He couldn't write. I mean, he couldn't even do like change.
Yeah.
So the lady would like work with him with fake coins, because I told her not to use real ones because he would steal them. Because I found out quickly that he was a stealer. But I want to say he's like, well, and the thing is that these testings that they do is all on fucking computers.
Yeah.
So they're done in a minute.
Yep. Well, because I can guess.
They just do A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, because they don't care.
When they don't have to show their work.
Right. And so sometimes he's at a kindergarten reading level. Sometimes he's on a first. Sometimes he's on a second. Depends on how much effort he puts into it. But they need to give these kids paper again.
Kumon is paper, and I appreciate it. They actually said, "Oh, we have an app," and I'm like, "Nope." I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. I think that they do have an option where you can write it, but I'm just like, nah, I want her to paper it out.
Yep. I mean, because that's how you know that they're doing it right, especially when it starts getting to the harder kind of math.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them guessing. And I just feel like the school just, here's a laptop, guess.
It must be somewhat cheaper, though, for resources. Because they don't have to print as much paper, maybe?
I guess, but then you look at Wesley destroying...
Yeah, I don't
laptops because he got into a fight. Like, how is that cheaper?
Well,
or him, they said the last laptop from 6th grade that they didn't threaten me, but they told me I was going to have to pay for it because it had a cracked screen.
I don't think they ever did they?
They never did, but they said I was going to have to. So, I mean, I don't know how that's cheaper, but
Lord.
I don't know. I don't like that they don't do paper no more. I think they should do paper.
Agreed.
But I also am not jealous, but fuck it. They need to do what we did.
I will say though, I wish, the emphasis is on the computer so much, but they don't teach them how to type.
Right.
And I'm like, why don't, I remember taking typing classes and I had a class and it was just a computer program that ran and it would monitor what you typed and it taught you, it was a built-in lesson.
Yeah.
And I'm old as fuck.
Well.
You did it on typewriters, didn't you?
We did it on typewriters.
Yeah. Because you were in a poor school. But yeah.
We had one computer in the classroom and that was... I don't even remember when or if we got to use it, but where we were typewriters with the little white thing, the little white, white out where you could, correct your mistake, and then they would turn off the lights in the room and tell you what to type out so you knew how to, type right. Type correctly. Type correctly.
I think this summer though I'm going to make Kalia sit down and take typing lessons.
Yeah.
Because they offer free ones, and I with yours. I don't know. When I learned, it was literally a typing program, and it'd be okay, where's the little raised bars on the F and
keep your fingers on that at all times.
yeah, and they like the typing I think it was called Mavis Beacon at the time. It was like you would always it'd be like, you know, those two, where the bars are, the raised dots where you could tell where you put your fingers at. They would focus there, and then it's like, and then it would go to your middle fingers, and then go to your ring fingers, and then your pinkies,
right?
And then it would start, you know, it would build up that memory for you,
right?
So I think that's what I'm gonna do this summer with her. Make her sit down and do it for like 10 minutes a day or something.
There you go.
Because I do feel like it's a good skill to have.
Oh, well, I mean, it's definitely because they're on computers all the time.
Yep.
And I mean, they might start, because I mean, I think in high school, I took typing. So maybe they're waiting.
So I was born in 77. I remember using a computer in elementary school, probably like 5th or 6th grade. Do you remember when you first used a computer?
I don't.
Yeah. But like those first ones, it was just like you could type shit up and then print off, like you could print something with those dot matrix printers. You remember those? Where it had the edges of the paper had the holes in them, and you'd rip them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those, but no, I don't remember actually typing, like typing, but I also don't remember a lot from my childhood. So, and I had to move around a lot. So
yeah,
everywhere was a little different, I guess.
Come on, childhood trauma.
Well, the moving around wasn't the
No, I meant the
trauma,
not remembering anything.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just, yeah, I want them to have to do what we did.
Yeah.
Like, driver's ed now. You pass driver's ed, you get your driver's license. That's some bullshit.
What did you have to do?
I had to take driver's ed. Then I had to go to the DMV and ride with some random person and do whatever they told me to do and pass. And then do a written exam at the same time.
Huh. That's not what we had to do. We like so in Texas, you would get your permit, and I got that first. It was just a written exam, like a pretty easy written exam.
Right.
And you could...
Your parent drove... Yeah, you drove with your parent, yeah.
And then I went to a driver's ed school, specifically, because my school is so small, we didn't have driver's ed built in.
Okay, so that's why it's a little different, I guess.
Yeah. But I don't know how it works in Texas public schools. I assume they have some sort of driver's ed, but I think you still had to have your permit, and then you would take driver's ed in school.
Yeah.
And then you would, as long as you took driver's ed, you didn't have to... We didn't have driving exams.
You didn't?
No, I think you only took those unless you didn't take driver's ed or you didn't have a permit first. So
yeah, I got a permit, and Mama took me and made me drive, everywhere. Got me comfortable inside of a parking lot. We did the parking lot a lot. Yep. That's to just kind of get a feel for the car and brakes, and it would be the parking lot of an elementary school that I actually went to on the weekends, and so she would do that, and then she would make me kind of drive her everywhere. Once I got kind of comfortable,
right.
And then I took driver's ed at school, and that was weird because you'd like watch a video, and then you'd be in a simulated seat.
Oh, we didn't have that.
And you'd have to like pretend to drive there, and then once you've got that down, you went to an actual car, and then you had a guy, the instructor, sit and watch you drive, and then he had that pedal thing, so that he could stop and so you wouldn't kill,
I wouldn't kill him.
And then once we passed driver's ed, and turned 16, because it just depended, on your birthday, you would have to go to the DMV, and you would have to take another test, the written test again. I think maybe that was my permit, but we had to drive with some random person, and I think kids should have to do that because that'll scare the fuck out of you. And some of these kids need to be scared the fuck out of.
I remember when I took driver's ed, we had to do so many observation hours and so many driving hours. So like the instructor would pack 3 of us into a car and 2 of us in the back, 1 driving, and we just sit there and watch, or we'd sit there and drive.
Yep. We did that too.
Yep.
I don't know if that was for observation. I can't remember. But my driver's ed teacher was sleazy. He was a creepy old man. He would open up the visor so he could look back at the girls. And one of my friends went with me, and he was a big dude. And he told him, he was like, if you do not turn that visor back up, I will find you after school.
Jesus.
And he turned back up.
Oh, good Lord.
That was good times. But yeah, so kids, homework, nope, don't do it.
Yep.
Me, homework, barely had any that I remember.
You had a lot in college. You had a lot in college.
Well, and then, I really did. I might have had homework, but I never really studied. Like, I studied the day of the test.
Yeah, I mean, that's typical, though. That's what I would do, too.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people that would, like, I would be in group, and they're like, oh, we're going to meet here and study here. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do all that.
It was weird. I do remember I had a college course in undergrad. It was like a literature class, and I never read any of this shit. You had assigned reading, and I never read anything. I was like, and my grade was kind of okay, nothing special. But I actually spent a few days like reading everything for the test. Like we had to, and I was surprised. I'm like, oh, that really did help. I really should have done that from the beginning.
That's funny.
Because you had to, part of the test was they would give you a quote and you had to identify it. And I'm like, because I had read it, I could identify their writing styles.
Right.
So I was like, shit, I should have been reading from the beginning.
Yeah. But I'm sure you still passed.
Oh, yeah. It was fine.
Yeah. My brother.
Funnily enough, who I ran into today.
Yeah. Who I love dearly. He is my son. I'm a second mama, in a way. He hated Calhoun. Because... So he went to...
So for our non-Huntsville, Alabama...
Oh, sorry.
Calhoun is a community college here in town?
Yeah. So he did the 2-year... Because it's cheaper.
Right.
Than to go straight to, like, the 4-year. Just to get the core classes out of the way. But he went to a computer school. I can't remember the name of it, but it's attached to a high school.
New Century.
Yeah, New Century Technology. Yeah. That's it, yeah. So he would go back and forth. But since he just left high school, he was like, hey, will you take me to Calhoun to register? And I was like, yeah, sure. And we went, and I was like, well, hell, I'm going to register too. I'm 38. He's 18. No, we're not 20 years apart.
18 years apart.
Yeah. So I'm 36.
You were 36 at the time.
Yeah. Took me forever to get my associates, guys. Just letting you know. I graduated last year. And he hated it.
Why?
Because he was like, I just did these classes in my high school.
Yeah.
So like literature.
Yeah.
Like we just or I don't want to read this book. This is not what I want to be when I grow up. Like he hated to have to do the things just to get to the point of the classes that he's taking now.
Why didn't he do dual credit? So I
don't think back then, because that's 2007.
They were doing it then.
Maybe Lee didn't offer it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. So in Alabama, you can do a dual enrollment thing where you can get college. You can graduate with a associate's degree, basically.
Right. But I don't know. I I don't think Lee did it, to be honest.
Okay,
Or
that's
maybe
fine.
because New Century was so new, because it was like his first year there. Like that was the first year they,
Yeah.
I think, or the
It
second
may
year.
just be certain schools.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know.
Well, no, because like Johnson or Jameson does it. So,
Well, so like Columbia, where Justin went to school, which Columbia is Columbia and Jameson are in Huntsville are bad schools.
I think Jameson's gotten better compared to what Johnson was.
Columbia was a shit school. It was where Justin started, and well, Justin dropped out too, but like it was a shit school. Like I remember his first week there, someone offered him a AK-47, and then that kid became his drug dealer, and then his friend, and then that kid got shot because he's an idiot. So yeah, I hated that school, but they had dual enrollment, and so I'm like, I don't know if they were just trying to get the poor kids into college or something, but I don't know.
The only reason why I say I don't think Jameson's
Crap.
bad that bad is because the twins go there,
I mean,
and I have not heard like
bad things.
yeah, because Johnson and Butler, where I went to Butler, Johnson was our rival.
And they were both bad schools at the time, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's like in Huntsville, for our listening audience that's not part of Huntsville, a lot of the poor families are concentrated into certain areas of town.
North side.
Yeah, and at the time when Jennifer and I Jennifer was growing up, there was some government housing. It still exists, and so a lot of those families got funneled into like 2 or 3 schools. And Jennifer went to one of them, and it's still the same here. Like we have some government housing projects here, and they get funneled in Columbia and to I think Lee.
I think so.
And so
and possibly Jameson.
Yeah.
Because one of the main ones that went to Butler got tore down.
yeah.
So
like that's part of like why it gets to be so rough. It's because like all that, families with no options, not a lot of resources and
Right.
no government support and no help and that kind of shit.
Yep.
So it's like kids get ignored and fall through the cracks. And,
yeah. And by high school, it was just me and my mom. So she was a single mom doing the best that she could. And in my opinion, did an awesome job because, I love my mama.
All right. So I think this is probably a good transition spot.
Are
Miss
we
Jennifer.
doing good? Okay.
Yeah, we're at 58 minutes now. So we're going to transition. So
Awesome.
for all our listeners, if you have any funny stories about your kids,
Or if you need some bad parenting advice, or if you have any ideas for topics, please, please, please. I know I say this every single time.
or if you think you might, if anyone would call in with a story, let us know. Email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com.
Yep.
If one person emails and says they would call in with a funny story, I will set up the voicemail.
I think you're just going to set up the voicemail
I probably
anyways,
will.
just to be like, you know what? Look here, motherfuckers. Call us.
That's right.
We want some funny stories. We need some ideas for topics. We need help.
We need something.
Yes, please and thank you. All
right. So email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com, just in case I didn't say it already.
You did.
All right. So we'll do a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back.
We're back.
Hi, Jennifer. Did you miss me?
I did so much with every bullet so far,
That's right.
as you say, and I'm so glad I got the same right because I said it wrong the other day, and someone at work looked at me like, "What the fuck are you trying to say?" I was like, "I don't know. Never mind." So we've had our story time.
And now it's snack time.
We've had our drink. Now it's snack time,
Yes,
and
so-
I'm doing snack time.
That's right.
So I believe you said you went to Target. And we are eating. The company's called Favorite Day.
I think it's Target's like, it's kind of like Great Value for Walmart. They're like, or Kirkland.
brand?
I think it's their brand.
Okay.
I think.
I don't know. It's a pretty bag. It is milk chocolate covered mini grams.
They're pretty good.
They're really good. A little crunchy, so we've been kind of trying to hide from the microphone whenever we've been gnawing on them. So hopefully you haven't heard us crunching. But I think it pairs well with the Malbec, to be honest.
Yeah, they're really yummy. I like them.
I like it, yeah. All right. So now snack time's over, and it is going to be your story time because I said my sad one last time.
So I may have done this one before. Benjamin, if you're listening and you remember, write in, let us know. But so my story time was a few years back when my mom was still living in Texas. Kalia and I drove to Texas, and we had our dog Aria at the time. So it was me, Kalia, and Aria in the car.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. To Aria, not Kalia. Anyway, so we stop at a hotel midway between Houston and Huntsville. And we hadn't had Kalia very long. It may have been just a few months at this point. Like, I doubt it had been a year. So I was like, Kalia, stay in the hotel room. I'm going to go walk the dog and let her go potty. Okay. She said, okay. So I walk out to the end of the hall, and this is just some fucking motel in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana. I think it was like Monroe, Louisiana. So I walk out, and there's like a group of like 4 or 5 guys sitting at the smoking bench smoking, and I say hi to them, and I walk past, turn around the corner, walk alongside the building, and let the dog go potty. And I do the whole, like, the hotel is just a giant rectangle. So I walk the entire length of the hotel and back to where I started.
Right, and where Kalia is supposed to be.
Yep. And I get back to the entrance, and as soon as I turn the corner, the group of guys were like, I think your little lady just came looking for you. So I was like, oh my God. So I like run around the corner where I had originally come from, and she's just walking down the thing. And I was like, Kalia Lachey Harris, God damn it. She's like, well, you took so long. I was like, I told you to wait in the fucking room.
It wasn't that long. It's not that big of a hotel room.
Fuck, girl. It scared the shit out of me.
It was still new, and
yeah, I mean, thankfully it was daylight. So oh God bless. I have so many stories about trying to sleep with her in the same room in the hotel room. So I'll add those to my list.
There you go. And that will be good ones too.
Because I don't think you've even heard them.
I probably have.
Yeah, probably. I know you don't remember them though.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. All right. So thanks for all our listeners. Thanks for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting.
If you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you don't like our podcast, just like when our kids ask why they can't do piano lessons a second time, even though the first time we tried it, anytime I asked them to practice, there was fights followed by tears.
Did she really?
Yes.
Oh my God. Kalia, tough shit. It's not going to happen. We've already tried this.
I am not fighting with you again.
Oh no.
All right, bye.
Bye,
bye everybody.
Guys.